Greenlaw's contract details came out today. When it was reported 3 years, $35 million, it's like, oh, well, that's why the Niners didn't re-sign him. But then the details come out today, and it's like, there's no guaranteed money after year one. And he essentially gets the signing bonus and the salary this year. It's essentially 1 year, $11.5 million guaranteed. After that, nothing's guaranteed. What do you think about the Niners letting Greenlaw go now that you know that?
Well, I didn't love it to begin with. I don't know what their offer was, but obviously it wasn't enough. To me, I mean, he's a 20, what is he, 27, 28?
27, 28, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he played 34 snaps last year because he tore his Achilles on Super Bowl Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he didn't play until the end. So I don't know if we can look at last year. I mean,
when he played, he was really good.
Yeah, well, and the people who want to, side with the team on every turn are like, hey, you know what? He only played 34 snaps this year. Okay, but that's an
That's
what
happens when you tear your Achilles in February.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what happens.
And we're supposed to believe he's injury prone because he could only play 34 snaps rushing back from an Achilles. I mean, to me, the guy showed you he's got the heart of a lion. Every guy in that room respects him. They're noticeably.
He didn't look like he lost a step.
No, he hasn't lost. I mean, if he has lost a step,
he didn't look like it in that game.
He didn't show it in that first half of that Ram game. That's for sure. So, I mean, I get no problem if you're going to sit here and say, because like a lot of people are like, hey, Krug, relax. Because I'm, pissed off that they lost out on Greenlaw. And they're like, hey, man, they wanted to get younger, faster, and cheaper. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't then go after Joey Bosa and try to re-sign Kyle Juszczyk.
Right.
But instead, they did go after Joey Bosa, and they did try to re-sign Kyle Juszczyk, or they did re-sign Kyle Juszczyk. So I guess I'm not seeing the game plan, or I don't know if there is a game plan. Is it possible that faster, younger, cheaper at the end of the day is really just cheaper? That's not really about faster or younger.
Yeah, I mean, when they let Greenlaw go, it's like, okay, well, he is a good player, but he's getting a little bit older. He's on the expensive side. It's just not really fitting with the theme of the offseason. I understand. I get it. Makes sense. But then you cut Juszczyk and bring him back, and that doesn't make any sense. You're not necessarily getting younger. You signed Demarcus Robinson, who's like 31, solid player, but you seem like you're just getting cheaper, not necessarily younger. And again, like you said, this isn't necessarily a coach and a general manager that if they don't have rings, they can't just say, let's plan for the future. No, they have to make sure they'll be employed in the future. And that kind of involves a half rebuild. This isn't a full rebuild, but it does feel like a half rebuild.
Well, it feels like Jed pushed back on them and said, hey, do you guys realize that we're number 2 in the entire league in cash spending since, you guys have been here? And then John was asked about it at the combine. He's like, do you guys realize that we're number 2 in cash spending since we've been here? So it's like, message to the Niners. The fans don't care about your cash spending. Don't care at all. They care about their cash spending. They don't care about your cash spending. Cash spending is not in the standings. Cash spending, go hang a flag that says cash spending. Nobody cares about cash spending. You care about cash spending. I don't even think your GM or your head coach really care about cash spending until you told them that it was the key factor. So I think that this is all about let's get Jed's cash in order, which is why I really do believe that we're going to see an Ayuk trade here probably before the end of the month when that money's due him. And I think he's going to be traded for day 3 picks. And probably multiple day 3 picks. And I think I'm expecting it. I think a lot of Niner fans are going to be like, what are you? I think a lot of Niner fans are going to be like, unbelievable. I can't believe they did that, but I think it's coming.
Yeah, I think so too. I do think with the Yorks, I like what you said. Like their job is to spend money. No one has any sympathy for them that they spent. Who cares that you spent a lot the last few years? You're supposed to. You know who else spends a lot? The Eagles. You're supposed to. You know why? Because you make a lot of money. I mean, you're printing money with the 49ers. You have a historic franchise that you inherited, that you didn't. I mean, you haven't won any freaking championships, but you get all of that cachet. And you're supposed to pay. If you don't have enough cash, you could sell 10% of the team, or you could sell 100% of the team, whatever you want. No one really cares. I'm with you on that.